Hello and a warm welcome to TBC News, our top stories. Government orders more scrutiny for asylum and refugee status. Good Friday and what it entails. Good evening, I am Nasa Kingu. Just a reminder, you can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online, and also get all the latest through our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages, all at TBC Online. The Vice President, Dr. Philip Mpango, has joined the President of Zanzibar, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, various leaders, citizens, together with the family of the late Sheikh Abeid Amani Karume for prayers for the late Sheikh Abeid Amani Karume on his 51st anniversary of his death today, 7th April 2023, held at CCM head office in Kisiwandui, Zanzibar. Karume Day is observed annually on April 7th to remember the death of the late Sheikh Abeid Amani Karume, the former president of Zanzibar and the vice president of Tanzania. The Home Affairs Minister Hamadi Masauni has instructed the Refugee Department in the country to have an effective and collaborative system to verify genuine asylum seekers and refugees. He was inspecting the ongoing exercise in the Kigoma region, revealing that some of the refugees from the Democratic Republic of Congo do admit to flee to the country due to the economic reasons.
We are not against providing asylum in Tanzania, or we are saying that we do not wish to see people to misuse political asylums. For instance, nowhere in the legal sphere does it provide asylum to someone because of economic hardships. Therefore, we are not going to be astonished by someone who will not understand us for rejecting people who are not eligible for political asylums. I have had a chance to question a few people here who are seeking asylum, and some of them told me clearly that they are here for economic reasons. There are those who say they're in Tanzania because they hate Tanzania is receiving people who seek for asylum. Others are here due to family problems. All these issues have to be dealt with at these early stages.
Masauni asserts that Tanzania will continue to respect international agreements and protocols related to the issues of refugees and asylum seekers, as it has always been doing, but it will also not allow the status to be misused. On his part, Sudi Mwakibasi, who is the Director, Department of Refugees, says until now they have received 7,000 asylum seekers and refugees that, according to the initial review, most of them are coming to seek refuge due to economic reasons. Christians have been urged to celebrate Good Friday and Easter holidays by remembering people who are in need and let love and solidarity prevail in the society. My colleague Lulu Muhammad had a chance to talk to Father Jacob Kahemele from the Anglican Church Diocese of Dar es Salaam, who insists on all Christians should follow religious teachings to maintain good relations among themselves and others.
Today, when we are celebrating or remembering the crucifixion of Christ, we are called as Christians to do all those things that will bring relief to those who are suffering because of evil that is going on in the corrupt world, in terms of helping the poor, bringing hope to the hopeless, showing love to those who feel abandoned and lonely and unloved, and forgiving each other, because as humans we do things that may be bringing pain and hurt. So families, this is the time to come together and make sure that there's forgiveness and homes are prospering, and in community, similarly, politicians, in every aspect of life.
What is the relationship between eating meat and celebrating the Good Friday for Christians?
Has for a long time been practicing as a tradition is abandoning some of the things that will help people to come closer to God. And one of those traditions is the avoiding eating meat. And I'm saying it's purely a tradition, but it is a very good tradition because it helps one think about. So if you abstain from something, it's just like how you go fasting, it's like how you go, practicing worship. We are doing, these are humanly institutional things, but they help us get closer to the Lord.
You've said about eating meat is like a traditional, and it might bring you closer to God. And what about wearing black clothes during this day? How is it related to the celebration?
Again, these are all traditional things. I mean, humans are finding ways to express their emotions, their feelings, and all that. I remember I grew up in a society where when somebody dies, they shave the hair. It's an indication of sadness and loss and all that. And it has been a tradition that people, when they die, when there's sadness, they put on black. Now, I'm not sure if it is supposed to be black. Maybe next time we should think about wearing white when we do this. But as I'm saying, it's simply a tradition. It's a way humans have developed to express.
Thank you very much, Lulu Mohammed. The Minister of State in the President's Office, Public Service Management and Good Governance, George Simbachawene, and the Minister of State, Prime Minister's Office, Policy Coordination and Parliamentary Affairs, Janista Mahagama, called on public servants in the country to work diligently with integrity, creativity and cooperation to make the country achieve economic goals and continue to provide better services to the people. Faith Ngaga has more details.
Both the ministers made the remark in Dodoma during a handover ceremony following the two ministers being involved in the latest minor cabinet reshuffle.
Let me congratulate you for this concession ceremony. Let us continue working hard and let us continue to assist Madam President. Everyone must do justice to the position they are given. We must be creative and hardworking. Our leaders have certain objectives to achieve, and so we must assist them in attaining them. Let me thank you, Madam Minister, and as I hand over the Prime Minister's Office, Policy Coordination and Parliamentary Affairs, I also ask you to allow me to head to your previous office, for the President has entrusted us with these positions.
Policy Coordination and Parliamentary Affairs, Janista Mahagama, thanks the President of Tanzania, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, for the trust she continues to show her and vows to work hard for the betterment of the people and the nation.
I believe that everything is planned by the President because of her vision in bringing about development of Tanzania. I'm so grateful to her. I'm indeed indebted to Madam President, the Vice President, the Prime Minister, but mostly to the Tanzanians. Once you are entrusted by the President, you are obliged to leave a mark. You are also supposed to have a work plan that puts into consideration the national plans in bringing about development of the nation and its people.
The government is to spend more than 230 billion Tanzanian shillings for a project that aims to improve the infrastructure and education system for nursery and primary schools in the country as part of the government's plan to improve education at the primary level. Here is a report by James Lerombo, read by Apasia Ringo.
Major improvements have been done in the education sector, and this includes the determination of the government to construct more classrooms, provide sufficient desks, improve the infrastructure and other needs. Here, the Minister of State, President's Office, Regional Administration and Local Government, Angela Kairuki, says work is still ongoing to improve the education sector.
More than 8.3 billion Tanzanian shillings from various councils have been used to build 300 classrooms. Also, we have been able to build centers with approximately 230 billion Tanzanian shillings, as stated earlier, and they are expected to be sent soon for the implementation of the improvement project for primary education.
Deputy Permanent Secretary, Education at the President's Office, Regional Administration and Local Government, Tanzania, Dr. Charles Msonde, asserts that free education has given many students an opportunity to join primary and primary education.
The number of those who expected to be enrolled for primary education has exceeded the target due to free education and has reached 109%.
Speaking during the occasion to congratulate President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan for her performance in the education sector, some of the attendants vowed to work hard to achieve the targeted goals in the sector. 161,432,000 teachers have been promoted, while 24,343 teachers have been employed.
President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan has opened opportunities for girls who were suspended from school and have now been able to return to school and continue their studies.
Tanzanians have been urged to continue to support people in need in their communities so that they can perform their daily activities more conveniently. The remark has been made by the Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation TBC Director General Dr. Ayub Rioba when he was handing over a wheelchair to Muhinja Bunyenyiga, who is a person living with a disability. Furthermore, the Director General have commended the TBC employee Tuma Dande for being on the forefront to extend support to the people in need and those living with disabilities.
I call upon other Tanzanians to realize that it is our duty to help others who live with challenges, just like Bunyenyiga. And so I believe that everyone can make a contribution, no matter how small. If small contribution comes from many people, it means we will be able to address a lot of challenges that our people face.
On his part, Bunyenyiga has thanked the TBC for the support and asks Tanzanians to continue to support him in his artworks.
I am grateful to TBC. May God bless you all. This is the second time I am receiving this support from TBC. This is the second time receiving a wheelchair from TBC. I am grateful to TBC, and may you continue to have such a giving heart.
Serengeti National Park has discovered a new way of advertising tourism whereby a unique animal by genes or characteristics have been acting as a single touristic attraction of the park. Following the new sensation of the famous lion Bob Jr., tourists have been flocking in the park to witness these icons despite this time being considered as low season in the tourism industry. Our reporter Margaret Getty is in Serengeti, and here she is with more details.
Death of the famous lion from the plains of Serengeti, Bob Jr., has brought new ways of advertising tourism in the country, which is the biggest contributors of country's economy. Behind me is the 3 male lions who killed the famous Bob Jr. And tourists from around the globe have been coming here to witness this iconic place.
We have had several species of animal here in Serengeti and in Africa that is famously known, and people will travel all the way from different parts of the world just because of that individual species. But that being said, it's not that Serengeti is only about Bob. We have had a lot of species around here. We had black savo cat. Is a small wild cat that is found in Serengeti and the other national park. This cat, they are normally spotted. They have spots. But this one was unusual because he was born completely black. So tourists who went also in the eastern part of Serengeti got photo of those. The photo spread on the internet, and people were traveling to see this unusual savo was completely black. So you can see how much this has gone far to promote the national park itself, but to promote conservation, because every beauty you see here in Serengeti National Park are the fruits of conservation.
This is very good story because we hear from so many guests once they just arrived here. It's the main issue going on up here. Once they just get here, they ask about Bob Jr., how it started and how it ended up. I may say that this is it's very good for Serengeti National Park and general in Tanzania. It's because we'll have more guests.
It was a thrilling and fascinating experience. We couldn't expect for more enthusiasm and happiness. We saw so many things, the landscape, the animals, and the plants, and and the atmosphere and the weather, and especially the people. So nice, such nice people. So what can I say? We must come back.
Reporting from the late VJ's territory. This is Margaret Getty.
Interesting story there from Serengeti. Thank you very much, Margaret Getty. And that item concludes the local news tonight. All the latest in international news coming up next. And now it's time for the international news compiled by Ramadan Impenta and read by Apasia Ringo.
Tunisian President Kais Saied rejected what he called foreign diktats from the International Monetary Fund, which is in delayed talks with the heavily indebted country over a rescue package. Speaking to the reporters in the coastal city of Monastir, President Kais Saied regarding the IMF foreign diktats that will lead to more poverty are unacceptable. The IMF has pushed Tunisia to remove state subsidies on basic goods, particularly fuel. He said it's true that some people who don't need subsidies are benefiting from them, but they can find other ways to make sure they get to those who deserve them. Tunisian government reached an agreement in principle in mid-October for a nearly $2 billion package from the IMF, but the deal has not been approved by the lenders board, a key step to unlocking support from other international lenders. The South African government announced that its request for the extradition of brothers Atul and Rajesh Gupta at the heart of a massive state corruption scandal involving former President Jacob Zuma has been refused by a court in the United Arab Emirates. The two Guptas, along with the third brother Ajay of Indian origin and a formidable trio of businessmen, are accused of looting the South African state treasury with the complicity of former President Jacob Zuma during his 9 years in power from 2009 to 2018. According to South Africa Justice Minister Ronald Lamola, the UAE court found that it had jurisdiction over the money laundering charges against the two brothers, as the offenses were committed both in the country and in South Africa. South Africa made an extradition request in July, shortly after the brothers were arrested in Dubai. The Gabonese National Assembly and Senate met in Congress to revive the country's constitution, reducing the term of office of the President of the Republic from 7 to 5 years and the election from 2 to 1 round. According to the Gabonese National Assembly Speaker Faustin Bukobi, 85% of votes in a combined session of the National Assembly and Senate in the capital, Libreville, supported the proposal, far beyond the qualified majority of 2/3 necessary. These changes, in particular the one-round ballot, have been denounced by part of the opposition as means of facilitating the re-election, potentially with a relative majority of the head of state Ali Bongo Ondimba, who has been ruling the country for over 13 years. In 2016, the President Ali Bongo Ondimba won re-election by barely 5,500 votes over opponent Jinping, who alleged that the poll had been rigged.
That was international news. The sports news is up next. Time now to get all the latest in sports with Mario Cheto.
Tanzania athletics national team coach Alfred Shahanga says Tanzanian athletes will win medals in the upcoming African Athletic Championship as they have undergone tough prior training. Coach Shahanga believes that the athletes have been training hard in camp, hoping that the practice they have done will help them to win medals in African showpiece.
Sasa hivi tunafanya kile kitu wanaita nini?
This time we are doing sharpening. We are not building up. So to prepare them for the competition, because we have few days before the competition. And the way we are training our athletics and the trial they have been doing, we are hoping they will bring medal.
Hivi tuna matumaini makubwa ya kurudi na medali kwenye mashindano haya.
We are following instructions from our coaches and we believe Tanzania pray for us. We will do better in the competition.
15 athletes will participate in African Athletics Championship to be held in Zambia at the end of this month. Tanzania local boxers Joseph Mchapeni and Emmanuel Mgongo will lock horns in their 9 title fights during the King of Kings night fight to be held in Morogoro on April 22nd. Speaking in their training camp, both boxers revealed that they are ready to fight and the fans should expect an entertaining game.
I ask Tanzania box fans to come up in numbers. They will enjoy good match. I'm going to beat Iman Mgogo with knockout blow. My opponent is bridge to my success. He was fighting against weak opponents, so he has to get prepared to fight against tough opponent.
Before title fight between Tanzania, Toa Kiduku against Lago Kirizia from Georgia, other wild card fight, Habibu Pengo will take on Saidi Mkola, Jamali Kunoga fight against Ali Ngwando, Charles Chilala take on Hamadi Furaisha, and Juma Choki will fight Lauren Jaffet. Tanzania Professional Boxing Federation TPBRC General Secretary Yaya Pori says preparation for charity fight for Tanzania International Hassan Mwakinyo against South African opponent is at last stage as non-title fight will take place in Dodoma on April 23rd. General Secretary Pori urges boxing fans to turn up in numbers so as to collect enough funds which will be used to help women in needs, as his statement supported by organizers of the fight.
Shows us that our sports is just growing up, boxing is growing up, and we can use these sports as part of public engagement by distributing the sanitary pads to girls.
Mwakinyo, he agreed to contribute because, you know, boxers, such kind of Mwakinyo, you need to pay a lot to him. But for him, we say it's okay, he can pay free so that to get the money for the sanitary pads.
Second is we wish through this event also to publish our branding, our products, to let all those schoolgirls, women to know soft care.
Funds generated from the fight will be used to purchase female towels for various primary and secondary school girls in the country. Malio Cheto, TBC News.
Thank you very much, Malio Cheto. And that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. On behalf of the whole team, I am Nasa Kingu. Have a lovely night and a beautiful weekend.